Good morning. My name is Mark Willis. I'm the head of integrated product support at Pennant International. And this particular chat is entitled the S Series Data Challenge. And it is a digital version of a chat that I gave at the ASD AIA S10000, the IPS user forum in Brussels a couple of weeks ago, and I've been asked to actually put it out on the website for people to have a look at. So here goes. A little bit about me. 34 years in the military, British Army and the Royal Air Force. I was a helicopter engineer by trade. I'm a chartered aerosystems engineer. I'm a fellow of the Royal Aeronautical Society. Since leaving the Air Force after a 34-year career, I've now done 21 years in industry, where I've held several board-level positions in SME defence consultancies. Effectively, I'm a support engineering specialist, so ILS, IPS, support engineering, support solutions, safety and risk are all in the bagatelle which I deliver. And as well for my sins, I'm the senior UK representative on the S10000I International Working Group, where we actually build the specification for the various issues of the specification which we provide. So what I'm going to talk about over the next 25 minutes is the limitation of the specifications, the S-series specifications as we know them today. The integration challenge within ILS and IPS. I'll also talk about harmonization of the specifications. And then I'll finish off by talking about some interim toolset supplier challenges and perhaps spin a few ideas about how we actually think the future may develop. There will be an opportunity for you to pose questions and answers, and I'll answer those questions, but that'll probably be through either LinkedIn or by direct messaging me at Pennant. So the aim then of what I'm trying to do today, I'm trying to get the community thinking about how we can get the most out of the S-series specifications, the applications and the tools to address the integration and harmonization challenge surrounding the current specifications. The S-series promise. The S-series promises, it advertises advantages of the S-series specifications as follows: harmonization across the specifications, integration offered by the specifications, and the ability to transfer data almost seamlessly around the project using data models. The challenge is that, unfortunately, supporters and critics of the S-series specifications point to the immaturity of the data models. Data models are still immature, and that the advertised integration has not yet happened. Further, the levels of harmonization across the specifications are still not at the required level. So how do we, as a discipline-led community, work with those challenges and start to reap the benefits of the S-series specifications when delivering challenging and highly complex projects, as we tend to do? The harmonization challenge then. Harmonization is the specifications working in harmony to transmit a consistent story. So we need to transmit the support story across the specification suite being used on a project. That's difficult when there's only limited harmonization activity happening. And to give you an example, we in the S10000I community over the last 2 years have only had 2 harmonization meetings with fellow working groups. Those working groups were the S6000T working group and the S5000F working group. Those harmonisation meetings have only happened at the rate of 1 per year. So greater effort has got to be put into harmonisation across working groups, regularly communicating with each other. And we need that to happen in order to maintain a credible set of specifications. Moving now to integration. When one part of the project is affected by an engineering change, the change should be identified across all other areas of the project automatically. We shouldn't be in a position of a swivel chair operation so we can get the information right. So you need to be able to automatically correct the information in the various databases or a single integrated database if it's required. So if there's a change to a part number, for instance, then the ILS system, the IPS system, should recognize the change in the publications, in the spares ranging and scaling, in all areas of the LSA, in the maintenance activities, in the sustaining engineering activities, and in the training. In fact, engineering change should be incorporated across the project without the need for swivel chair activity, I should say, such that the engineering change is made holistically and automatically. So the challenge we've got today, there's a feeling amongst the community that the specifications and data models are still immature, and that feeling is justified. I don't think anybody would say that we've got mature data models yet. Work has been undertaken to improve data model fidelity and usability, that there's still somewhere to go. The data models are pivotal to resolving the specification, harmonization, and integrating challenge. However, until the specifications and data models achieve the necessary level of maturity, processes will need to be put in place to support the integration task. All tool suppliers, not just Pennant, but all tool suppliers, are seeing increasing requests from our customers for IPS tool sets which deliver a holistic end-to-end S-series specification capability. There are some of the less scrupulous tool providers out there who maintain that their tool set will provide an end-to-end S-series solution. I'm afraid to say they're not telling the truth. How can you provide a holistic end-to-end S-series solution if you haven't got the necessary integration and harmonization across your toolset and the data models are still immature? So with specifications and data models still lacking maturity, tool vendors must strive to provide the best solution achievable. And I am aware of a number of companies who are striving to do that, the best solution achievable, and to be flexible enough to adapt and update tool sets as the S-series specifications mature over time. So what can we do in the interim to actually help this integration and harmonization challenge? Well, first of all, I was pleased to hear Jim Colson say at the IPS user forum that we could make things easier for ourselves by having a single integrated database. Excuse me. Many of the solutions today have more than one database, and inherent in that is a challenge to actually transfer data without data corruption. Whenever you get data transfer, there's a chance of data corruption. So a single integrated database to deliver the toolset capability, the integrated database hosting the LSA tools, publication tool, and the analytics tools in a single source of truth controlled data environment. That is one way we could assist. We need to have ability within the LSA tool to import any standard or specification in any format. and to seamlessly move to an alternative specification whilst identifying data gaps and correcting them. So what do I mean by that? So take an LSA, relatively simple LSA if you like, in the form of an Excel spreadsheet. Absorb that data, pull that data into your database, and then have the ability within your database to place that data into any of the specification or standard formats, and to actually understand the errors which there may or may not be in that data which you've imported. And then to be able to automatically or semi-automatically, if you wish, correct that data such that it matches the requirements of the standard or specification you wish to work in. And wouldn't it be nice if you could actually transfer on multinational programs data into a variety of specifications and standards to export it to various international customers? We should have the ability to tailor the data requirements simply. So you may choose, and in fact you are encouraged, to tailor specifications such that you only work with the data that you actually need. Wouldn't it be nice if you could actually do a menu selection of the data fields that you need against any of your specifications and standards? That would certainly assist us in the integration and harmonization space. We need the ability to undertake support modeling analysis without having to bolt on some of the specialist tools. The expense of bolting on specialist analytics tools in the LSA environment is really quite prohibitive. So perhaps we should think about an integrated tool set which actually has the analytics tool embedded in it rather than bolting on other tools. We need to integrate with system lifecycle management processes. We're working with a number of standards. ALP 10, integrated lifecycle support, gives a systems approach to lifecycle management. We need to be able to integrate with those processes and support additionally the data maturity models which sit alongside those new specifications. And finally, we could create a where used capability within the central IPS database to identify which applications or specifications use a particular data object. That would enable change messaging to affected stakeholders and make the world an easier place to live in. So that's all I wish to say. In summary, the integration and harmonization challenge remains out there. We have data model maturity challenges which we need to overcome. And what I hope I've given you is some food for thought to generate conversations in our community in order to address the challenges that we currently have. Thank you for your attention.